Good evening and welcome to the Late Late Show with me, Irish Tommy. As you can see, we're going to discuss tonight talk of a potential new deal for David Moyes and whether or not we think he deserves one and should get one. As promised, last week I thought was a great show actually with a really good discussion. But I did promise that because I largely ignored the chat last week, I did promise that this week I would go heavy in with the live chat. So I'm a man of my word. I'm here on my own tonight. And it's all about the live chat tonight and what you guys are talking about. So without further ado, let's see what people have to say and who's in the house. Scott Bernard, look, let's see what happens. We're all in agreement. If Shabby Alonso walks through that door, it's a yes from everyone. Let's all stall on the Moyes contract and see what happens in the summer. I think that's what will happen, Scott. I don't think, like some reports saying a new deal is imminent. I very much doubt a new deal is imminent. I think it will be left, if not till after the season, I think at least very close to the end of the season, is my guess. But look, all we can do is guess. Look, I don't have any insiders at the club. I don't know for certain exactly what the thinking is at boardroom level. Could be anything for all I know. It could be that they've already decided, they're going to give him a new deal, or that they're already decided that he's not getting one, or that they're still weighing things up. I suspect they're probably still weighing things up. I'd imagine Steidton is doing some work on that as well, kind of putting the feelers out of if we decide not to go with Moyes for next season, what kind of names would have an interest in taking over the job. And I suspect if there's a name sufficiently enticing to the club, then I suspect that it could be bad news for Moyes. But like I say, it's all speculation at the moment. But yeah, I think probably the decision will be made towards or at the end of this season. Ken Leach says it's time for a new adventure, no deal. Mr. Shea's saying bye-bye Moyes. Chris Small, we have exciting players. A new coach, someone like Alonso would be amazing, would take us to another level. Obviously, look, I'd love Alonso as well, Shabby Alonso, but word on the street is that Bayern Munich intend to make him their manager for next season. And if that's true, obviously, then that's the end of that. He'll be at Bayern Munich next season. User says yes, it's P45 time. I'm really interested to see if there's anyone here who's like fervently for a new deal for him. Evening all, no rush to offer Moyes anything. We could easily tail off again this season as we have done previously. I don't see Moyes linked with any other clubs, so his stock cannot be that high. We haven't seen any direct link to any other clubs, but I think the reason for that is that there wouldn't be any club that's of a higher stature than West Ham that would consider David Moyes for the job. I think any clubs that would be willing to have David Moyes as a manager are clubs that are kind of below us in the table, probably, and in stature. Like, it's not as big a job as the West Ham job. And so there's no point in them talking about we'd love David Moyes because they know he would not leave West Ham for them. If, for example, David Moyes were to be sacked, which is very unlikely this season, or at the end of the season, if he became a free agent, then yes, I think immediately there would probably be some clubs that would be like, all right, we think David Moyes is the kind of manager that we need right now. So I think he'd have no problem getting another job. But yeah, while he's in the job at West Ham, I don't think you'll hear anything like rumours about other clubs that might want him because they know there's no point putting those out. He's not going to leave us for them. They would look elsewhere for a manager if they needed one, or if they were considering sacking the manager that they had. Ralph enjoying the sun. Good to see you, bud. There's no deal. Sick of excuses for shithouse Moyes ball. First time in 55 years I actually stopped watching my club. Wow, I get it. I mean, look, it's no secret that I do not like our style of play whatsoever. I think our players are capable of better. But that's just the way Moyes is. I mean, the game. I mean, Jesus Christ, game against Brighton was just absolutely shocking. Look, I know we had some players out, but Brighton had a number of players out too, and it clearly. I think we had 6 out. They had like 9 players out, so it clearly didn't upset Brighton's style of play or the way they approach things or the way they go about things. Them missing 9 players, they still, especially second half, still look pretty cohesive as a team. It still looked like everyone kind of knew what they were doing. Whereas we, especially second half, it seemed to be, we're missing, Aguero, Zuma, Kudus, Paqueta. We'll just pull everybody back. Christopher was missing as well, obviously. We just the 2 players that came in didn't look like they'd ever played with the other players. There was no cohesion there. They didn't seem to know what they were bloody doing. Everything was just getting hoofed back out. Whereas Brighton, at least, they were attacking and some of their movement, some of their play was really good. They opened us up a number of times. I mean, Areola kept us in that game, and some poor finishing, to be honest. I mean, a lot of their shots were hit straight at Areola or close enough that he could get a block on them. So that could have been a very different game if Brighton had been a bit sharper in front of goal. And they still looked like they were able to play a bit and create openings, and we had none of that whatsoever. So I was incredibly disappointed with that. That was just dreadful to watch. And I think that's why the boos, at the end of the game, I think the boos were not about the result. I don't think it was because we had a 0-0 at home with Brighton. I think the boos were because that entire second half, we didn't lay a glove on them. We just sat back and allowed them to attack and attack and attack, just wave after wave. And all we were doing was just trying to hoof the ball clear. And it was actually genuinely fucking pathetic. And I think that's why the boos. I think as fans, I put up with a lot to get to that game. There was rail strikes. There was a lot of fans who couldn't even get to the game over it. There were cancelled trains. And I think the people who actually put in a real effort on a Thursday night to get there to watch the team had to sit through that, particularly that entire second half, and watch their team just sit back and defend for 45, 50 minutes, whatever it was. And it was an utterly pathetic effort in the second half. And I'm not surprised there were some upset characters in that ground who felt that maybe, we could have expected a bit more than that. That was one of the worst halves of football I've ever watched us play. I have to say, it was disgusting. Surely just missing a couple of players. What are they doing in the fucking training ground? Is this what? Thank God we've only got one Premier League game in January. That's all I can say. Hammers Mikey says, defo no deal. Old crinkly bottom can F off end of season, so can all have a massive house party. Maltese Hammer is in. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. No deal from me. Jeez, I'm still waiting to see if anybody in here thinks he should. Hammers Mikey is in. Good to see you. E7 Hammer, no deal. Another one who doesn't. Yeah, Maltese asking the same question. Is there anyone in the chat that wants Moyes to sign a new contract? I'll tell you what, Thursday night really did it for me. I just, another 2.5 year deal. Like, if you get a deal now for 2.5 years, another 2.5 seasons of watching this football, I just don't want to do it. And I know some of you watching, apparently no one in the bloody live chat, but some of you watching will be saying, well, look what he's done. He's won as a trophy, and he's got his 6th and 7th finishes. Relegation battle last season, albeit, but this season we're 6th. We're doing well, and look, I get it. Here's my take. I think any good manager can keep us in the top 10. We're 6th at the moment. We'll see where we finish. But any good manager will have us inside the top 10, and probably competing for those top 6 places, top 8 places. I also believe any good manager would have been capable of winning the Conference League. As much as it was amazing to win a cup and a European one at that, I just, let's be honest. I mean, look at the level of competition. It was a very winnable trophy for us. Let's put it that way. I think any good manager would have had a right good crack at that trophy last season. I don't think Moyes is pulling up as many trees as some of his more vocal support would like us to believe. They're acting like he's performing some kind of miracle at West Ham. He's not. Having us inside the top 10 competing for a top 6, possibly a 6th or 7th place finish, that's what we should be doing. Any manager coming in, I would absolutely 100% expect that that's what he should be able to do. He should be able to have us roughly where we are if he's doing his job well. My hope would be that this manager would actually do it in a way that's much more palatable to my eyes. I wanted to gouge my fucking eyes out watching us against Brighton on Thursday, to be honest. And it's not the first time. I've felt that way many, many, many times watching Moyes ball. And I think another manager, if he's a good manager, can come in and play a much better brand of football and have us pretty much where we are anyway, because I think we've got the players. So I don't accept that Moyes has performed any miracles at West Ham, like his fans will try to tell you he's performed miracles. He hasn't. He's done a good job. And I give him credit for doing a good job. And I will always credit him for winning a cup. Always. But it was a very winnable cup with the team that we had, compared to a lot of the teams that we were having to play against. And like I say, where we are in the league is at the top end pretty much of where we should be. We should be keep competing with our players roughly in that area. We're in amongst the teams we should be in amongst in the league. That's my opinion. So I just want to see us at least be fucking watchable most of the time. Doing the Amico, not remember these Aguero rumors in the slightest, even though what Aguero rumors. John, evening, and Cookie Hammer, evening hammers. And Hammer's Mike says, Moyes Hammer, if there is, they should be embarrassed. I don't know what these rumors are. Someone tell me what these weird rumors are. I just haven't been keeping up today. Apparently, us Moyes out are minority, but we're the majority. Gen Z, I love Moyes, but it's still just the same football. Yeah, I think, there's an awful lot still of people who are Moyes out, despite the fact that we're doing well in the league. I'll be completely honest. When the team came out for the Liverpool game in the Carabao Cup at Anfield, an hour before kickoff, and I saw the team, I tweeted, this is before the game ever started, okay? So there was no hindsight involved or anything like that. I tweeted that throwing a cup quarter-final was unforgivable. And I meant it. And he was throwing it, and we all saw what happened. He threw that game. He absolutely threw that game. He decided to sacrifice a place potentially in Carabao Cup semi-final. Liverpool drew Fulham, by the way. Fulham. Had we drawn Fulham in a semi-final, you'd be thinking we've got a real chance. I think better than 50-50 that we make the final if we play Fulham. I know they spanked us 5-0 in the league, but I think that was other reasons for that. But so that to me still is unforgivable. People talking about, with Bristol City in the Cup. FA Cup, I don't give a shit about the FA Cup now. I don't care what happens we may as well get knocked out tomorrow, in my opinion. May as well get knocked out by Bristol City. Because the time will come when Moyes will feel like he has more important things to do than winning an FA Cup quarter-final, and he'll fucking throw another game. And then I'm going to need a new TV because my fucking shoe will have gone through it. So, fuck Moyes for doing that, frankly. That was a great opportunity. Great opportunity. I mean, I would say if you were to ask the fan base the day before the Liverpool game. If Moyes had come out and said, okay, we can either really go for it in this cup quarter-final at Anfield and rest a number of players and take the risk of being beaten at home by Man United on Saturday, or we can rest the players in the Carabao Cup, take our chances, and then really go for it at home to Man United on Saturday. I would suggest it would have been 90+% I would have said, no, you've got to go for it in the Cup. We can recover from a defeat in the Premier League. It's 3 points lost. If we lose, by the way, maybe we shithouse a draw. United were absolutely horrific in that game. We might have been able to rest some players and still dug a draw out from somewhere. But nonetheless, let's say we'd have lost that game. I wouldn't have given a shit. Even if we had not gone through in the quarterfinal, I still would have felt that was absolutely the right thing to do, was to really, really try and get to that semi-final. And if we lose to Man United at home on Saturday, so be it. It's 3 points, 1 game out of 38. We can recover and still finish 6th at the end of the season. Losing to Man United at home doesn't ruin our Premier League season, doesn't condemn us to not qualifying for Europe next season through the league. Can recover from a loss in the Premier League. So I won't forgive him for that. And now he's completely ruined all my interest in the FA Cup. Don't care who we draw or who we beat now, because I just feel like at some point it's just going to be getting in the way if we progress in it, and he's just going to fucking throw that too. Maybe he'll throw an FA Cup quarter-final as well. I'm sorry, I think he's got to go. E7 Hammer says, Moyes, you can walk for 100 miles and 5 miles feeling LC. Reading between the lines, I don't think E7 wants him to have a new contract. Mark Watson, how are you doing? But Alan Dunn says, morning all, 9 a.m. here in sunny Australia. Fine for you. Oh, of course, it's your summer. So it's probably not just sunny, but probably fucking bacon as well. Says, morning all, 9 a.m. here in sunny Australia today. So let's put some sunshine in everyone's life and wait to see how the rest of the season goes before we renew any more extended contracts. Yes, let's not be hasty, West Ham board. Let's not be hasty. Is it Ralph Defo majority mate? I've had it with whatever on Facebook again. Can't handle the truth. The melts. Sorry, they're having a convo. Wasim, how are you? Evening to you. Paul Evans in. Evening, Tommy. Budgie, did you know that one is from Rusty B? Oh, well, he knows now. Congratulations, mate. Maltese Hammer says, I always say those that want Moyes to stay are people who only look at the results and table are youngest who are probably in bed now. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, there definitely is a section of the fan base, because you do see it on Twitter. The performances don't bother them in the least. Even when they acknowledge, they'll acknowledge, okay, look, wasn't great to watch. It was a bore fest, and it was pretty boring to watch, and it doesn't seem to bother them that much. They don't get bent out of shape about how it looks to the eye. I think once we get some kind of result, they're kind of happy with that. I mean, I even saw them, like, I couldn't fucking believe it. Some of them, I saw them after the Liverpool game. They weren't happy directly after the game. They were like, oh, I'm not sure about that, putting out that team. I'd rather we'd have, they were still pussyfooting around it. I'd rather we'd have kind of rested players on Saturday and kind of gone for it tonight. Then the next day, I could see them in their tweets. They're literally just shrugging their shoulders. Oh, well, on to United. Hopefully make up for it by beating United on Saturday. Come on, you Irons. How the fuck does beating Man United make up for that? Melts. I mean, they will literally shrug off what he did just so they don't have to get stuck into him. I mean, some of them, I swear, that they actually love Moyes more than the club. And I mean that. I mean, they will defend him through fucking everything. Nothing he does will get them wound up. They will shrug off the next day that he threw a cup quarter final. That was actually a winnable game. I know it was Liverpool, I know it was Anfield, but that was not their best 11 by any stretch. Shrug it off. Like it never happened. Forgotten now. That was yesterday. On to United on Saturday. Will never fucking understand that. E. Evans says, I can't even watch his interviews, they bore me. Moyes needs to go a little. I never watch his interviews. They're either boring, as you say, E7, or they just fucking wind me up. Because I think he talks an awful lot of bollocks. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors with this guy, to try and defend some of the things we have to watch. And some of the decisions he makes, he will waffle on it. He will talk, and he'll even contradict himself in the same interview. Like it just boils my piss, to be honest. Hammerette's in the house. Aye. How we doing, Hammerette? Good to see you as always. John says, can't see Moyes buying into the new philosophy that Steiden wants to bring to the club, but what effect do I know? Yeah, I don't think so either, John. I think if it were up to Steiden, he 100% would not be getting a new contract. How much control does Steiden have over that? I don't know. How much say does Steiden have in it? I don't know. Aguerd and Mav, the future, mobile and progressive defence. Let's not have 11 defenders as a platform for the future. Yeah. The thing with Aguerd, I kind of feel for Aguerd a little bit, because I think when Moyes brought him in, I think the intention that Moyes had was to become a more possession-based, progressive type of team, and he felt that he needed a centre-back like Aguerd who was very comfortable on the ball, could carry the ball out, good passer, good on the ground, could do all those things in a more progressive type of team that was going to start trying to play out from the back. Moyes doesn't have a clue how to coach that kind of team, and so it was an absolute disaster last season. Horrific stuff. We were in a relegation battle almost the entire season. Moyes eventually just reverted back to what he knows, which is the low block. And now Aguerd is being asked to play that. And it just doesn't suit him. Aguerd was probably like, what the fuck is this? He's probably never played football like that before in his life, Aguerd, or never been asked to. So I think Aguerd struggles with it. He's just not he's not a backs to the wall defender. He's not Zuma. Zuma can do it. Oggy could always do it. Craig Dawson, could always do it. So I don't think Aguerd is quite designed for that kind of onslaught, So he makes errors. So I think it makes him a bit uncomfortable. If Big Tim is involved in this, has he failed in bringing top talent in? If he's involved in what? Has he failed in bringing top talent in? Fuck, I don't know. You mean Aguerd? Who are we talking about? If Big Tim's involved in what? Can you clarify, Keith? Involved in what? The players that are signed will indicate whether the DM is getting a contract. I think you mean in the January window. It's possible. It's possible that looking at the kind of signings we're making could give a little bit of an indication. You always feel like particular players coming in, you feel like, oh, don't know if that's a Moyes player. I'm not sure if that's a Moyes player. So yeah, potentially it could maybe give an inkling. But I'm a bit loath to read too much into that kind of stuff. Yeah, potentially, but I'd rather just wait and see. I don't try to jump to conclusions based on what specific player has signed and whether you think it's a Moyes type player or not. I'm sure that speculation will happen on Twitter, but I'd be a bit slow to jump to any conclusions on that. I don't know if you'd technically have said that Aguerd would be a kind of Moyes style centre back. You would have thought maybe, oh, he's a ball playing centre back. Don't know if that's Moyes type of thing, but here he is. But we shall see. Let him go Palace when Moyes goes. That would potentially happen if the timing was right. If Hodgson was let go at the end of the season and Moyes was let go at the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if Palace were among the clubs that made a phone call to him. Ralph says Everton next year will sign him. I think Dyche will still be there. I think Dyche will still be there. I know you're looking at league table. Everton are down there, but that's because of the 10-point deduction. If you add 10 points on, they're doing pretty damn well this season. I know they've had a little downturn again recently, maybe lost 3 games in a row or something, but I have a feeling Dyche will be given time. And I don't think Everton will be in any relegation danger whatsoever. I think going into the last kind of 10 games of the season, I don't think Everton will be in trouble. So if Alonso goes to Bayern Munich, what do you think about Tommy Tickle? Tommy Tickle, jeez. Conceded toffees consists of my Spingard and Benny next season. Can you imagine? Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, that would make my year. If Moyes, Lingard, and Benrahma were all at Everton next season, that would be amazing. Oh, from your lips to God's ears, Hammeret. Lee, evening, mate. How are you doing? Steve Grimshaw says, our new manager is already in place to start in the summer. Is that according to your sources? I hope so. I hope you're right. I think it's a big window for Moyes. If he gets it wrong or does bring in what we need, then we know the club surely can't back him in the summer. Yeah, it's hard to know. Hard to know with our board. I don't know where their heads are at. They're probably pretty happy. The board are probably pretty happy, given our league position. We're in the knockout stages of the Europa League. I don't think our board give a shit that he threw the cup quarter final. I don't think they're bothered by that whatsoever. Listen, people on the board are not West Ham fans. They're not West Ham fans. Like, they're not going to lose their shit because David Moyes rotated away to Liverpool in the cup and we lost. They won't lose a wink of sleep over that. They'll have watched that game. Sullivan, maybe his kids, perhaps Kretinsky watched it, whoever else. They probably just got up off the couch after the end of the game and went and had a glass of wine and said, oh, well, hopefully we can bounce back Saturday. I don't think they lose any sleep. I don't think they get pissed off about it. They're not passionate about West Ham. Sullivan likes to parade himself as a West Ham fan. He's not a fucking West Ham fan, never has been. He's a Cardiff City fan, as far as I'm concerned. That's what he's always been for. He owned West Ham. When he was owner of Birmingham, he was asked in an interview, like, who would you like? He said he'd love to one day own Cardiff City. He's a Cardiff fan. There's no one on a board, or very little, who are actually passionate about West Ham, who really give a shit. So if we're inside the top 10, we're doing all right in Europe. I think our board are pretty happy. I think Tim Steidten wants more for us. I think Tim Steidten wants more than that for us. I think he has a vision. And I hope the powers that be will let him do his job. And if they do that, then you can be fucking sure Moyes ain't getting a new contract. Cookie Hammer says, why money and a project build up around you? Why could we not get him? West Ham are massive. You mean Xabi Alonso? Because if it's a choice between West Ham and Bayern Munich, he's going to go to Bayern Munich. Moyes gets his tactics from that film, 300 Spartans, yeah. Usual saying it's going to be interesting to see who he puts out on Sunday. I would think Paqueta would be available. So thankfully, I think Paqueta will be back. Sofel was just felt a bit sick. I imagine Sofel will be back in. I don't know what the situation is with Zuma. I don't know if he's been training or anything like that. Maybe one of you can tell me. I'm not sure. KPWHU, evening. How are you keeping, mate? Lawrence Watkins, the ever reliable Lawrence Watkins from Lexington, Kentucky. He tells me every week he's from Lexington, Kentucky, but which is nice. But it's very sweet, Lawrence. But yes, I know you're from Lexington, Kentucky. Usually won't start. The youth needs to fuck off. Yeah, if you're a youth player at West Ham, you can absolutely forget about it. He has absolutely no interest whatsoever. Or Corny, if you're I swear to God, man, I don't know what Corny's got to do. Like, there's just no way that man can get a kick anymore at West Ham. I don't know what's happened. I need somebody like who I know is genuinely behind the scenes there, who knows what the fuck's gone on there, to tell me what the fuck has happened between David Moyes and Maxwell Corny. Like, people are saying the youth don't get a chance under Moyes. I guarantee you, if Moyes had the choice of starting Maxwell Corny in the game, or say George Earthy on the left, he'd start George Earthy over Corny. I'm fucking convinced of it. I don't know what's happened there. It's fucking weird that no matter what happens, Corny couldn't even get off the bench away to Liverpool in the cup, even though Moyes was throwing the game. Even in a game Moyes wants to throw, not only can he not start, he can't even get off the bench. It's bizarre. Black Country Hammer saying Moyes out, it's boring football. Cookie Hammer Moyes standing in the press conference was 6 minutes long and all about squad, which gives the impression a bodge squad. Okay. Johnson, Brighton still a quality from their bench and Lallana Ferguson. They look better when they came on. Yep, absolutely. They look like a team that's actually very well coached. Happy Emirates, although the youth have the Football League trophy on Tuesday, it would be nice to see moves on one other if possible. Yeah, you know what, Hammerette, it would be lovely. And I hope we do. I really hope we do, because, as I said earlier, my interest in the FA Cup now is gone, because I don't think Moyes is going to take it seriously any more than he did the League Cup. So it would be nice to see 2 or 3 youngsters in the team. E7, I'd rather not spend in January, as if Moyes has though it'd be old, proven, overpriced Prem players. If Tim picks the players, he won't play them to April. Right, if I can translate that correctly, I think you're saying if Moyes is given the money to spend in January, he'll overpay for the Premier League proven players that he tends to insist on wanting at the club. And if Tim decides what players come in, Moyes just won't play them. I'll tell you what, I said something kind of similar on Twitter, and this wasn't me with some conspiracy theory or anything like that, but bear with me and tell me what you think. I'm not sure if there's any point in buying either a striker or a left midfielder in January, because I don't think either one will get a look in. Even if Moyes likes them and Moyes' choice, the best case scenario for them is they'll get some minutes off the bench. I don't think he'll start them, because right now he's got Kudus, Paqueta and Bowen as a front three, and they are, as a unit, right now you have to say that they're on fire. I mean, they're making a huge difference to us. The difference this season to last season West Ham is literally that front three. Nothing else has changed. We still concede lots of goals. We still play a mid or low block. We're still essentially defensive, try to play on the counter. The only difference this season is that instead of Bowen Antonio Benrahma, we have Bowen Kudus Paqueta. That's a massive upgrade. That's why where we are in the table this year, instead of fighting in a relegation battle. I don't think Moyes has done anything particularly different. I think just the quality of those front three is winning us games. Those front three are winning us games. We've seen them do it time and again this season. One or more of them in any given game will come up with some magic. They're, as a front three, there's very little better than them in the league. Very little. And that's the difference this season. That's why I think in January, like this month, we buy a striker. Do you see Moyes chucking him in there? And if he puts a striker in, what's he going to do? Is he going to drop Bowen? No. Is he going to just drop Kudus? No. Is he going to drop Paqueta? No. Is he going to drop Souček so he can move Paqueta back into midfield? No. Souček is his love child. He plays. Souček played all last season. He was fucking dog shit. He's not going to drop him under any circumstances. So even if we get a left winger, same question. What's he going to do? Bench Paqueta? No. Bench Souček so we can move Paqueta to midfield, please, shiny new left winger? Nope. Only hope would be, it would be such a Moyes thing to do, to actually, that he'd be more likely to drop Ward-Prowse than Souček. But he won't drop Ward-Prowse because he loves his deliveries from corners and free kicks. He doesn't want to take that out of the team. So I think any striker or left winger that we buy in January will be on the bench for the second half of the season. You'll see them off the bench every once in a while. That's about all you'll see of them this season. So that's the reason I don't think there's too much point in buying many players in January. I don't think we'll really see much of them, to be completely honest. Souček ain't getting dropped for anybody. And he would have to shuffle the deck to accommodate a striker or a left midfielder. It won't happen. KPWHU, I'm in the no deal camp. Think he's done the most he can do here. Don't hate the bloke, but we all have a shelf life. Yeah. And I don't necessarily feel like a new manager coming in might particularly pull up that many trees either. He might just continue on what Moyes has been doing. He might keep us competing for European place in the league, have a go in the cups. I just want to enjoy watching the team play. I just want to see some good fucking football. Not the fucking dross I have to watch with Moyes. West Ham United Philippines says 6 a.m. here in Philippines. Great way to start Saturday. Fuck Moyes, I'm 100% behind Nick and all the claret and boozers. Yeah, a lot of people are. They have their critics too on Twitter. Have you seen them? I've seen all the critics on Twitter. On the West Ham fan channels, I don't see so much of it. I haven't seen, unless I've missed it now, but I don't see too much on the West Ham fan channels that kind of are vociferously let Moyes in. Seems to be just some weird kind of Twitter mob that are kind of Moyes' crowd. I fucking don't understand them. I'll be fine if we've got no crown if this season form continues. There we have one. There you go. So Mark feels if we continue to compete at the end of the table where we are, if our form continues to the end of the season and we're, say, finish sixth, or I assume you mean in that ballpark, that we're competing at the right end of the table, then Mark would be happy for Moyes to get a contract. Would it depend? Mark, just to ask, because I'd be interested to see exactly what you mean by this. Do you mean just like our form in the league? Like our Premier League form keeps us up around sixth place, and that would be enough for you? Or does he have to do something in the UEFA Cup, or the UEFA Cup? How old am I? In the Europa League, would he have to do something in the Europa League or the FA Cup, or do you not really kind of care about the cups that much? Is it all about the Premier League and what position we finish in there? That would any of that, would it sway you if we got knocked out early in the FA Cup and in the next round, say in Europa League? Did it bother you that you threw the Carabao Cup quarterfinal, or are you only like concerned with kind of the bread and butter in the Premier League? I'd be interested to know how you feel about all that. Yes, I would like to see Orford start. Yeah, Orford's really good. Like Crystal Palace have the marker. Get Moyes out. He should have gone after the Liverpool game. Yeah, I'll be honest, Dan. I was fuming after that Liverpool game. I won't even lie. Like if I was the chairman of the club and he'd have been fired before he got back on the bus. I'm not even kidding. I'd have said, like, you can't do that, bro. It's not going to fly. Like, that was a winnable cup. That was a winnable fucking cup. We were in a good position that cup. That was a beatable Liverpool team. I know there's no guarantees. You know, still had some decent players on the pitch, Liverpool, and there's no guarantees that we beat them, but we should have at least given ourselves a chance because we had a chance in that game. And right now, we'd maybe be looking forward to semi-final against Fulham. Again, very winnable. And anyone we meet in the final, what, afraid of, let's say Chelsea, what, scared of Chelsea in the final? I don't think so. Beat them already this season. Yeah, don't get me started. See, every time someone mentions that, I get fucking pissed off again. Okay, here we go. This happens every single time. I don't know how many times I've addressed this point. This is not an argument. This is not an argument against anything, Bob. I think your name is Bob Cat Fan, whatever the fuck that means. This is not an argument. I'd rather play this football and win in Europe / finish in the European spots than play attractive football and fight against relegation. Who offered you that deal? Who told you that? Who told you if we play better football, we'll be in a relegation scrap? Where did you hear this? This is not the decision we have to make. This is not the offer on the table. The notion that if we play a better style of football, we'll lose every week. Like, nobody would rather a relegation battle playing nicer looking football. But it's a false dichotomy. It's a false dichotomy. People keep doing this. I don't know why they do it. As if we have to choose between attractive football in a relegation battle or dross shit to watch and finish sixth. Like we have to pick between one or the other. This argument comes up every time I complain about the style of play. Saying that Moyes will not want to spoil Brendan Moyes, so we'll play a strong team. There's no game for 2 weeks, only to chuck us under a bus at a later date. Yep. We'll probably beat Bristol City, progress. Doesn't matter who we draw next round. Like I said, FA Cup means nothing now. If you go to a team play, would move heaven and earth to watch your team. I got a train from Bernard Castle to watch West Ham at Villa. I was 16. That was a journey and a half. Yeah, that's it. Look, our fans will make the effort. I like Moyes wanting to succeed, but I can't figure out what's the difference between now and when we were putting in 3 or 4 goals a game during COVID. I'll be honest. Do you know what I suspect the difference is? Alan Irvine. That's what I think the difference is. There's too many games like the Brighton match where he wants to play 10 outfield players in our final third. It's too boring and not the West Ham way. No, it is incredibly boring. Thank you, Mark. Bobcat fan, it does not have to be one or the other. Kevin Cackett says, if they do give Moyes a new deal, I think the fans will turn. I've lost count the amount of times I've said I'm done with him. Yeah, I think there's going to be a large section of the fan base that like myself included, I would be genuinely distraught if that man gets another 2-year deal. Absolutely distraught. I just don't want to watch it anymore. I just don't. Blackburn Charmer says, to be honest, I couldn't stand to watch another 2 years of this crap. Yes, we're doing well in the league. It's so negative style of play. It's doing my head in. It's doing my head in as well. Things run their course, and I absolutely believe Moyes has run his course at West Ham. Won't be long till most are moaning if we get someone in, we can't get Europe the following season. Well, sure. If a new manager comes in happy and they're not doing a good job, then of course we'll be moaning. Why wouldn't you moan at a manager who's not doing a good job? But I don't know, you're kind of projecting a little bit. How do you know he's going to do a bad job? How do you know he won't get us into Europe? Can't get us into Europe. Maybe he will. And maybe it'll look a lot better. Manly G says, hi, if the football improves and we get into top 7 or 8, then he'll probably deserve another contract. I just think he's capable of letting him off the lead. Yeah, forget that. Football won't improve. This is just what Moyes does. This is how he coaches his players. This is all they know. Oh yeah, I get you, Ralph. Wouldn't travel from Surrey to watch West Ham to watch this shite. Yeah, a lot of people won't. Rubber fan, cry me a river. Very mature. But you got called out on a bullshit statement. Suck it up. He saved us from possible relegation twice in 2 years. We weren't that good before him. Right, we should just have him as manager forever then, Rob. He saved. Well, how long are we going to keep doing this? What, in 10 years' time? Is that going to be your argument? I mean, he saved us from relegation like 10 years ago. He deserves to. We weren't that good before him. Sorry, that's not an argument to me. He saved us from possible relegation twice. What do you mean twice? Yeah, the first time he came in, did a job. Thank you very much. Off he went. Second time he came in, just about saved us. But I mean, you're going back, mate. You just keep, When does that argument... Let me ask you, Rob. When does that argument expire for you? When does it expire? How long is he saved us from relegation a good enough reason to not sack him or to not allow him to run down a contract? How many years does that get you in your eyes, Rob, where Moyes must stay because he saved us from relegation? Interested to know how long you think that kind of thinking is going to wash for. Because I don't think that's an argument whatsoever. For whether he should be here in August of 2024. To stay 6 to 8, we need more depth. Yeah, we saw the other night what happens when we have key players who are missing for whatever reason. We look completely clueless. Geez, Tom, with all negative comments, including mine, the Moyes lovers will be adding the site to do shite the Clarence Booze boys cop just for being honest. Yeah, I don't care what they think. They can leave whatever comments they want and don't give a shit. Is there any point going for the cup if he's going to throw a game later on a year? No, there isn't. May as well get knocked out by Bristol City and get it over and done with. We may as well have just lost in the third round of the Carabao Cup. For the way it ended, may as well have just thrown. Well, just throw the third round. Throw the FA Cup against Bristol City. Just do it now. Save us some potential games on it. Let me see what else. Some people just saying hi to each other. This comes up every time as well. Wow, you're actually just trying to wind me up now, but I'm not even. That's a fallacy, by the way. Talk to some Charlton fans. Talk to some Charlton fans about that. They'll tell you that is a complete fallacy, what you've just said. Charlton have never had the funding in a huge stadium. Yeah. Rumours that we would accept practically what we paid for him this January. Yeah, if we get our money back, then I don't care. I don't think Aguirre has been that great, to be honest. He doesn't look like it just suits him, Moyes ball. He's probably better for him as well if he moves on. That 5-0 wasn't that long ago. No, but it doesn't mean every time we play them they beat us 5-0, Mandy, or Happy, is all I mean. Yeah, they beat us 5-0 that day, but if we meet them in the semi-final of the Cup, doesn't mean they're going to trounce us again. They beat Arsenal after going 1-0. Would you throw that game, Happy, because you don't think we can beat them? I said we have a better than 50-50 chance, and I stand by that. I think we're a better team than Fulham. I really do. I think we'd have a better than 50-50 chance of coming through that game against Fulham. I really do. Bobcat fan, the Elders are delusional when we played attacking football unless we lose to Bristol City by 3. That you're talking about little old West Ham, right? Fulham just about beat Rotherham tonight 1-0. Yeah, it goes to show, like, it's, our amazing sports deserves a trip to Wembley, be it EFL or FA Cup, unforgivable to throw it against everyone. Agreed. I won't forget that. For that alone, I'm not even kidding. For that alone, I don't want him getting a new contract. I don't want a manager in here who's going to throw cup quarterfinals. That was a genuine opportunity for us in that Carabao Cup. Genuine opportunity. And he didn't give a shit. What are we going to do in the league? We're not going to get in the top 4. We're not challenging for the title. Losing, even if we drop 2 or 3 points at home to Man United next game, doesn't mean we're out of the top 6 race whatsoever. Plenty of games left to recover. My God. Ralph saying, P.S. I'm stoned, retired, living in Spain now, even though. Good for you, Ralph. You're living the life, my friend. Good for you. Martello, straight to the point. Moyes out. Trini Hammer, Aguirre is a transfer to Saudi Arabia, rumour. Yeah, I don't care where someone goes once they leave West Ham, to be completely honest. It sounds about right, though. It sounds plausible. Could be Saudis would maybe be looking at him. He threw the quarterfinal. He treated the youth and senior pros like shit, disrespected the fans. That's more than enough reason for him to go and not be offered a new contract. Yeah, he's soured relations with a lot of fans. Some of the things he says are just awful about the fans. Moyes outlot are deluded as usual. Bobcat fan doesn't seem to have much going on upstairs, just throwing out random sentences without ever actually. He's talking without actually saying anything. Moyes outlot are deluded. Okay, whatever that fucking means. How long have you been watching the Hammers exactly? Probably 5 minutes. Just watched the Billy McKinley press conference. Is he David Moyes after he fell asleep? I haven't seen it, thank God, and I'm not going to watch it. I don't watch them. They're usually just boring as shit. Tim has our new manager lined up in the summer, light at the end of the tunnel. Really hope so. Black Country Army says, agree, Tommy, I can't understand that Moyes' decision on that Liverpool game. If we win a cup, he's guaranteed a new contract. Yeah. Look at this. Now he's on the wind-up now. I'd rather have the 3 points and win versus Man U than the League Cup semi-final. Yeah, I think we all know now this is a troll. That says it all, really. Tommy, I get what you're saying, but with our strongest team possible, the strongest team, we still lose to Liverpool. Not sure what your point is. To be honest, Tappy, I'm not sure what your point is. We might not win the game, so may as well throw it. I don't understand what you're saying. A strong chance we still lose. To that Liverpool 11, I think that's a 50-50 game. I'll be completely honest. That was not near their best 11. They had a few players out in that game. I think with our strongest 11, we matched them. We will absolutely match that 11 that they had out. I think we had a real chance to progress. I still think you try, though. I still can't possibly condone throwing a cup quarter final. I don't care who we're playing or where we're playing. It's a cup. Have a go. Cookie Hammer saying, cannot watch my shit. 50 years never not wanted to watch my team, but this season I wanted him out season after he kept us up. Fell asleep last game, turned over for some of the other. Yeah, that last game against Brighton was really, really, that was a long 90 minutes that none of us are ever getting back. Barry Clark's in. Hi, Tom. I hope you're all good, mate. I am. Cheers, mate. Is Noble a yes man to Moyes? I honestly don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm not a fly on the wall inside. You'd have to ask someone who would have some kind of insider knowledge of what goes on at the club. I genuinely don't know. I really don't. Even left the ground early several times this season. Never happened before. Yeah, I know. I think a lot of people just fed up with watching shit. So when you hear all the interviews of players saying they like him, let's be real, they aren't ever going to come out and criticize. Yeah, all smoke and daggers, their true feelings will come out when he's gone. Yeah, I take all that with a pinch of salt. 37, this is the best we've played in my lifetime. You're chasing something that happened before I was born, and even then you're forgetting disaster losses we had in the 80s. I'm still talking about the fucking 80s. Shut up about the fucking 80s, dude. And plus, anyone who says they don't give a shit that he threw a cup quarter final, as far as I'm concerned, you're not a West Ham fan. I don't give a shit what you say. You're 37, how old you are, and how long you've been watching the team. For any West Ham fan, to me, saying that they don't care, that they are glad that our manager threw a cup game, a cup quarter final, for the chance to have a league win against Man United 3 days later. I'm sorry, that I can't wrap my fucking head around that whatsoever. Just astonishing thing to say. Moyes out is okay with me as long as we have a replacement that can affirm where we are and push on. Brighton Borefest, but apparently we have to respect the point. Yeah. So, like I say, some people are just shrug the shoulders. Yeah, it was absolutely dreadful, but we got a point. Respect the point. A certain Moyes in YouTube channel, 3/4 of them don't even go to games, yet they have the high ground to call anyone else deluded and idiots. Yeah, it's all about opinions, isn't it? Opinions are like ourselves. Everyone's got one. Our quarter-final game for us. Sorry, Mandy. There you go. A quarter-final game for us. You must play your best 11. Yeah, absolutely. Cup quarter-final. Don't care who you're playing or where. You got to go for it. It's a chance for a semi-final. This quarter-finals latter stages. You've got to try. This is the best many younger fans have ever seen. So, of course, they would back Moyes to the hilt. Yeah, I think, to be honest, a lot of Moyes fans, yeah, I think most of the Moyes in crowd are probably younger fans as well. But I have seen some older fans as well who are kind of pro Moyes. Beating Chelsea and Man U were fantastic moments. Yeah, it's always nice to beat them. But I'd rather be in the cup semi-final right now. I'm 51. Moyes brought us Europa Cup and stability. It might not be pretty, but we're now on the best of the rest. Want more gamble? Do you believe we can constantly break the top six? Nope, the Premier League is shark-infested waters. It's a very tough league, but we spend a lot of money and we've put together a very good team. We've got some absolute quality players. Like I said earlier, I don't think Moyes is doing the miracles that some people are attributing to him. The way some people are going on about Moyes and what he's doing, they think he was fucking walking on water. Constantly break the top six. Yeah, with the money we outlay on players and the way we back our managers, and like the players, our front three is unbelievable, Mark. Unbelievable. We've got some very good players at this club. Okay, the squad probably needs a little strengthening. The bench is a bit weak because Moyes has completely demoralised everyone on the bench. But, with everyone fit, our starting 11 competes in this league. So, yes, we should be consistently looking to challenge in the top six, to answer your question. Yes, we should be expecting that with the money we spend. Moyes Look, Mark, Moyes is not doing miracles. This is what we should be able to do. The best we've played. What have you been watching, mate? Yeah, I know the best we've played. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, Bobcat fan is definitely trolling. It's not the best we've ever played. What the fuck is that? Yes, as Mendy G points out, he spent almost £500 million, Mark. We fucking should be in the top half of the table, mate. Chai Pup saying Aguero is a terrible defender. I think that's a bit strong. I don't think he's terrible, but certainly he's not as good as we'd all hoped he was going to be. There's 100 watching, 110 Moyes out. How many TVs will he go through if you give Moyes a new contract? A few. Probably need a new one for each room in the house, I'd imagine. Trina Hammer, who's this best they have seen us play? Are you sure you're not mixed up with Villas and Coles and all that? Yeah, I know. I like Bob. You should have been around for the 15-16 season, mate. Woo! Thank you for your time, but it's now time to retire so we can enjoy football again. Exactly. I think we're allowed to enjoy it, aren't we? Is that allowed? Last time I checked, I think it was allowed. That you could expect to at least enjoy watching it a little bit. I'm not sure it was supposed to be necessarily like putting your hand in a meat grinder. But, some people, like I said, they don't give a shit how it looks. Mendy after 500 million massively around Paquette and Kudus, that's embarrassing. Don't think we massively rely on them. I think it's more a case of they're just absolutely brilliant, and so they always stand out. Look, any team that has Kudus and Paqueta and is missing both of them is going to have a problem. So, only reason Moyes wanted to beat Man U is because of the history. Oh, yes, he got pushed out of the club. Same negative play. It's time for Moyes to go in the summer. I agree. Is this a comedy channel? Sometimes. Yeah. Some of the live viewers are really funny. Like, they put in some great comments. So hang around. You might get a laugh. Let's see what's questions for the older ones. When did you stop dreaming? Moyes has drained that out of them. Moyes has convinced them that in order to have a half decent season and win a few games, you have to play shit football. To the point where we even get comments from people saying that if you would you rather like we play nice, entertaining football and get relegated. That they actually think that if we actually try to attack other teams and score some goals and get on the front foot, they think we're going to get destroyed by every week. They really do. Like Moyes they've been Moyesed in their heads. Here, Trinhammer, Aguero is a high press, long passing defender, recovery pace, totally against Moyes' philosophy. Yeah, if you're playing the high line, Aguero, I think, would be absolutely top class. Mendy, quite a few are against the philosophy. Yeah, basically, we have a completely different philosophy. Aris, good show, Aristotle. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. I'm saying the youth who what instant success do you know who we are? I'm not sure what. Sorry, I don't know what that's relating to. But to run a poll, I don't think there's any need, Aris, to be honest. I think we'll see from the comment section exactly where this is going. Hammer's Mike is saying Moyes' wet dream. The back door, Maguire, Ogden Johnson winning himself involved. Yeah, he probably would love that, wouldn't he? So without the 10-point deduction, Everton would be 12th. Yeah, which is pretty decent. Certainly an improvement on last season. Tim's Ironworks, a working class club who strive to battle our betters. Might not win, but we'll turn up and give it a go. Yeah, exactly. Everton might be in more trouble. Oh, Jesus. But they're appealing the current 10-point deduction. Ralph says, I think Moyes bullied as a kid. His persona is totally defensive. It's obviously 100% negative. Yeah, it's very negative shit. Somewhere, if we go with Alonso and he doesn't perform, let me see the rest of this, and he doesn't perform, do you think Moyes will come back? Moyes sources are saying Newcastle are putting feeders out. John, Newcastle putting feeders out to no. Newcastle are not going to employ Moyes. Forget that. It's ridiculous. I don't know who your sources are, but they've gone off. I don't understand if you. What was that? Euro champions, Euro Conference League champions. Yes. Stop. Why do most people talk like we won the Champions League? That was brilliant to win a cup. Don't get me wrong, but it was again a very winnable cup for a Premier League team. You know, I told you, like these people think he's doing miracles. Sixth in the league, $500 million, Chai, $500 million odd spent. Where the fuck do you think we should be? He's not pulling up that many trees. Jesus. If he throws a cup game Sunday, I'd love to see what my sponsoring fanboys have to say about it. They'll shrug their shoulders and they won't care. The Moyes fans, nothing annoys them. No matter what he does, they'll back him. They will always want him at the club. They'll shrug their shoulders at it. Yeah, agreed. As I said, Black Country, definitely a fucking Cardiff City fan. See what else we got here before we go. There's a lot of comments to get through, and frankly, I am never going to catch up. But as always, look, I really appreciate it, and I wanted to interact a bit more with the live chat this week. Holy crap. I am so far behind. Well, I was behind by like over 100 comments. So I'm sorry, folks. There's no way I'm keeping up. Loads of people in the live chat giving their opinions. I'd love to be able to read them all out, but they're just going by so fast. It's just not possible. But look, I did my best for you. As always, look, I really appreciate you guys joining me. I'm going to leave it there. Obviously, the Moyes contract situation, I believe, will rumble on to the end of the season. And it'll be interesting to see how this ends. And we'll probably have a lot more discussions about it between now and the end of the season. Also, to anyone who's watching this back, please leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you disagree with me on anything, let me know. If you agree with me on anything, let me know. Let me know what you think about the Moyes contract situation. I think I've been very clear. I've planted my flag in the centre circle, as it were, that I do not want to see him get another 2 years at the club. I can't watch it for 2 more years after this season. I don't think he's pulled up as many trees as some of his supporters like to make out. I don't think he's performed the miracles that they try and convince you that he's performed at West Ham. He's been heavily backed in the transfer market. He should be doing a good job. We should be in the top 10 pushing for a European place. The Conference League was entirely winnable. Fantastic to win it, and I'm not knocking it. It was amazing to win that tournament. But it was a very winnable one. I would have been very disappointed, let's put it that way, if we'd have got knocked out by Alkmaar or someone like that. Because we shouldn't be. We should be better than them with the money we spent, Premier League club. But let me know what you think. Maybe you think I'm being harsh on him. Look, it's not really the league position that bothers me. It's not. This to me is all about having to watch this shit every week. I just have a very, very philosophical problem with the way David Moyes goes about playing football. I have a major fucking problem with any manager that has a real chance to make a cup semi-final and doesn't even try. Doesn't even try just so he can win a league game 3 days later. If it was like an end of season type league game where it's like vitally important we try and get the 3 points because it can make a huge difference to us as regards, getting in that European spot or not, I might understand it. But I'm sorry, to do that with not even halfway through the season, it's entirely recoverable. If we lose to Man United at home, still annoying because we love to beat them, but I'm sorry, if you're throwing a cup quarter final that's winnable, then you've got potentially Fulham and Chelsea to beat to win it. Then again, two winnable games against two teams that we absolutely can beat on our day. How do we know? We'll never know now if Moyes had gone for it up at Anfield, if it would have led to us winning a cup. It may have led to us winning the cup. We might be League Cup champions. Now we'll never know because he didn't even fucking try. Sorry, get him out of my club. I can't watch him throw another cup quarter final or some shit like that. Can't do it, and it's unforgivable. I said at the time it was unforgivable when I saw that team sheet, and it's still unforgivable in my opinion. Not good enough. I'm sorry. Just so we can fucking win a league game against United. Unforgivable. Get him out of my club. If you insist on him being here till the end of the season, fine. Let him fucking stay till the end of the season. At least then I'll know my misery is getting closer to the end. So, but anyway, look, if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments section, and hopefully we'll see you all next week. I'll bring some guests on again next week. I'll see. Maybe if I can get James on, he probably would have some disagreement with me on the contract thing. I'm not sure. Maybe get some people on if I can find them that maybe disagree with me and want to argue that point, and it could be interesting. And I'm sure by then we'll have plenty more to talk about anyway. But again, as always, look, I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you'll join me again, whether you agree with me or not. Hopefully you'll join me again next week. Always happy to see you here. And until then, as always,